That is I-205, as well as the Max tracks, and that is loud. And this is the I-205 multi-use path going through, which goes through Portland. But here, we are actually not in Portland. We are in the City of Maywood Park, which is an area of a couple of blocks, a couple dozen homes, a couple hundred people maybe. And this is an independent city surrounded on all sides by Portland. So the story of why this city exists is that when they were building or planning to build I-205, this was already a pretty well-to-do neighborhood. At the time, it was outside of Portland. Like, this was, you know, maybe not totally outside of Portland, but it was like a separate area. And the people here realized that if they built a freeway, there could be gigantic disruptions to their neighborhood and its tall trees and peaceful streets. And so what they did is they incorporated into a separate city so they would have more legal say in the negotiations about how the freeway was built. And that's why they maybe got a nice sound wall. Keep that in mind. And at one point, actually, so in the Portland area, there's actually several micro cities, which are just little enclaves. This is the only one that I believe is surrounded totally by Portland. The others are Johnson City and River Grove. And as for what it's like living here, I think it's pretty much like living in Portland, living in a well-preserved, you know, older neighborhood in Portland. But if you look and you go out on every side of the City of Maywood Park, you will see, you know, it actually gets pretty strody and stuff. And so it's interesting that a lot of times we assail NIMBYism and maybe we assail, you know, more affluent people who have the political power to preserve their homes. But in this case, I am not complaining. You know, we've preserved ecologically a lot of nice trees. We've preserved some quiet, and I think it's done well. So this is the City of Maywood Park. Also, if anybody is curious, the Portland Max goes in 6 cities now: Portland, Gresham, Hillsborough, Beaverton, Milwaukee, and a small part of it, but no stations, are actually going through the City of Maywood Park because the city limits do cross over the freeway and include those Max tracks. And I don't know how much of a say the city has in how the Max is developed, but interesting tidbit. Anyway, it's a nice little break of peace for me as I prepare for my trip to walk through the City of Maywood Park. And so I guess that's all I have to say right now of the City of Maywood Park. Just a brief introduction. Obviously, I don't know the entire political and social history and the architectural history. All very interesting, but I think this encapsulates it well.